When Judas asks if it is he who will betray Christ, I love his answer. Jesus uses it more than once. He uses it later in response to the high priest at his trial. Now, he isn't, as some critics claim, avoiding the answer. He is actually stating it far more profoundly. When Jesus says, "You have said so," he's basically saying in a much more eloquent and subtle way, "Why are you asking me? You know the deal." He's telling people to drop the public pretenses because they already know in their heart what is true, and despite this knowledge, they continue with the charade. Jesus says this to us as well. How many times do we struggle with a sin which is either clearly spelled out in Scripture, or maybe isn't addressed directly, but it is obvious from what we do have that the specific act in question is sin? We like to do all sorts of mental gymnastics to justify the act and convince ourselves that we aren't doing anything wrong. We prefer to philosophize our excuses and not bring it to the Lord because despite what we say publicly, or even in our conscious mind, a little deeper, we have no doubt what God's answer will be. We are afraid that if we bring our question to Him, the earth will shake and the thunder roar as He condemns us for what we are trying to get away with. But instead, He gives us the oh so quiet, but more terrifying answer, "You have said so." We are indeed without excuse. We do not need the 10 Commandments to judge us. Our own conscience knows right from wrong, and before it, we stand accused. When I share with non-Christians who refuse to admit that they are sinners because we've all been brainwashed by this self-esteem, my body, my choice, if it feels good, do it culture, I tell them to put aside God's standards for a moment. All they need to do is look at their own standards. By your own standards of right and wrong, have you lived a perfect life? Or even by your own far less holy standard, do you still find that you missed the mark? It is with this introspection that it is no longer the Bible thumper condemning them, but Jesus softly saying, "You have said so."